councils can be extended through presidential order or governor order? How can autonomous councils be created? President order, or is it parliament? Parliament has to make a law. Governor, sure.
Parliament is not.
Okay. So as I told you, please read static part. Static is your savior. Even if you read 5 topics per day also, your scores will increase exponentially. I think Vallabh is doing that right now fantastically. He's writing down 10 topics every day. He's revising 10 topics per day. So it won't feel like burden, and it will hardly take 1.5 hour of your time. But it is making sure that you are having crystal clear clarity. For example, Wildlife Protection Act. Instead of reading entire Shankar material or any material, all you are doing is taking that one particular topic which is very much repeated in the news and getting perfect in it. Then you go to National Green Tribunal. Then you go to greenhouse gases, global warming potential of greenhouse gases. You will mug up all the table. So 1 hour of your day will give you huge focus. What gets focused gets improved, better. Yes. Okay. Now a prelims questions can be framed like Hypena, Indica or Bullata. These are the terms you see in the news. What are they related to? A new virus. B, a fungus. C, butterfly. D, something else. So these are the terms that you hear in the news, and it can be asked. Yes, last year also there was a question about birds. Yes, 4 birds names were given, and you hear them in the news. What are they related to? In the same way, these are seaweeds. These are seaweeds. Okay. So as I told you, this year seaweeds is in the news for multiple reasons. One is government has started its own program to encourage seaweed cultivation or seaweed farming. It will act as a additional source of income for the farmers, right? So this was in the news, that too on Science and Tech page in The Hindu, right? So please remember the terms. As I told you, when warm water and cold water meets, that is a very productive zone. Just like that, there is a conducive environment for seaweeds, that is intertidal regions. Yes. So what is the follow-up prelims question? Is there a beach in India where the low tide, the sea water goes up to 4 kilometers or 5 kilometers? Rameshwaram. See, all low tides, all of you know low tide and high tide, right? Low tide means water will coming to the shore. Then it is not low tide and high tide, right? I said beach specifically. How many of you have Disha?
14.
Oh, any previous question paper book? Okay, have you seen it? Basant Panchami is done, right? You didn't take it out? You didn't see that coming? That insult? No. Basant Panchami is done? No. 2004 Saraswati Devi Puja. Okay. You keep it under the table, right? Put Om, Swastik and all those things. You know, occasionally taking it out, reading it also helps. Apart from keeping it under the pillow. Do you do that still? No? Not keeping the book under the pillow, sleeping overnight so that all the knowledge will come to your brain. Okay. The third option is opening the book. Try it sometimes, it's good. Chandrabhaga Beach in Odisha. It's a previous year question.
There is also another question. He said there was in the options also, like, the first option is also both are contributing.
So you get it right. It's a previous question. The moment you see low tides and high tides, It's a geography concept. First of all, low tides and high tides. You can also link it to the port in Haldia, Kolkata port. Why? Kolkata port is very much dependent on low tides and high tides. The ship enter when it's high tide and leave with low tide. So automatically it's a revision of all the topics, right? Geography. Yes. So there is a previous question, there is a geography concept, there is an opportunity for seaweeds, because intertidal regions where the area is submerged during the high tide and exposed during the low tides. So such areas are very conducive for seaweeds. Chandrabhaga beach is very famous and it's repeatedly is in the question papers, at least in the mocks. Yes, I told you, whenever you hear any option, you do basic ABCD. Don't just because you know C, don't ignore the A, B and D. Dugongs, okay. Seaweeds. Dugong is also a previous question, right? What is the specialty of dugong, Srinidhi? Never heard? You heard. Yes, Santosh? Sushmita? What is the specialty of dugong? Yes, Ashwini? You know it's called sea cow. Okay, Deepthi? Specialty. What is the specialty of dugong? Harita? Anybody want to give it a try?
It is known for keeping the area of Gulf of Mannar
It's first thing, it's a mammal, right? It's a sea mammal and exactly it's a herbivorous animal. So dugong and Gulf of Mannar. Mannar is a geographical area automatically, but the thing is what makes it special is previous question. We don't care about environment, right? We care about previous questions. Okay. Clear? Okay. So BRICS is automatically a favorite topic for UPSC. It didn't ask for last few years, but Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank was the last question, I guess. So all banking related topics like AIB, NDB, anything is by default important. Yes. So New Development Bank is also known as BRICS Bank. So all of you know, right? The first BRICS, BRICS. If you write BRICS, the first series of meetings were difficult to remember. After that, they follow the pattern of BRICS. BRICS, BRICS, BRICS. The same trend is continued. Who is going to conduct the 2021 BRICS? Which country is going to host the BRICS 2021?
India is going to host to the
Any idea?
Russia and both Russia and
After R, it's I, right? I. Automatically, they follow the sequence. India has even created a website for BRICS 2021. What is the theme of 2021 BRICS?
2021.
20% of your efforts will get you 80% of the scores. Okay, as I told you, you don't have to remember tons and tons of unnecessary stuff. All you have to remember is good detail about expected stuff. Right. So this is from PIB. There is an article about Suspace. Okay. Automatically, it's a self-explanatory article, right? It's a artificial intelligence based judicial system that will help the legal system. Remember, it is not going to decide the cases, it is going to only help or assist the judges. It's only for finding any case or finding any links between two things. For example, if a judge is not sure about a particular judgment, he can go to the database and it will automatically link a precedent is there in so and so case, or right, or there is a contradiction in so and so judgment. So those two things will be identified by the artificial intelligence. So this can also have applied ethics concept. For example, in future, if artificial intelligence will look at the judgment given by a district court, high court and a supreme court and go through each and every line of all the judgments, and it will create a summary. If this is the crime, this should be an ideal judgment. Okay, without any emotions, fear or favor. So should AI replace judgments?
It is given only from already present judgments.
No, definitely. We have enough legal precedents, right? Why do we have to waste tons and tons of time?
For normal or petty cases, we can do this.
Then that is what I'm saying, right? Petty cases will be, the burden will be removed, right? Land records. Say for example, land records are digitized. There are enough pending cases. If Sushmita is saying this acre of land is mine and you are saying this acre of land is mine, then the digital records will say that land belongs to you. Automatically a judgment is passed. So all the trivial cases can be removed and only the most important constitutional based case or fundamental right cases can be dealt by judiciary, right? There won't be any need for lawyers. See, AI can go through thousands of judgments within span of minutes and bring the best logical analysis. Like this line was used by this particular judgment, so it proves my case is correct. So it will quote all the 150 judgments in similar line. Then there won't be anything for the judge to.
Is it a contradictory to judicial review?
Why? Why judicial? I am reviewing it, right? There are two things. One is judicial review. Review of what? An act. Here we are talking about judgments.
In the sense, taking back the old cases and remodifying it.
No, I am basing them on my precedents.
See, the situation came, the same case is like of the previous one. Last time they gave a different judgment. Case. Then taking on the Bharti case. So how the judgment changed. Same issues.
So that is where we are discussing, right? Only such important fundamental or constitutional implicated cases can be left to the larger benches, right? All other ready-made petty cases can be dealt by AI system. For example, cycle theft, car theft, bike theft, insurance fraud. You are supposed to pay 12 premiums, but they deducted money for 14 premiums. Is there any need for a judge to look into such data? It's all digitally trackable, right? Yes? No? Lok adalats are there. Okay. Yes.
They are disposing.
Gram Nyayalayas. Again, all those are petty crimes, right? He stole my 4 hens. Yes or no? He stole my cycle. So petty cases can be disposed of. Any international best practices? Everybody is trying to develop better AI systems for at least. See, nobody is ready or willing to remove the judge as of now, but judge can have all the help from AI. Right? Judge can have all the help from AI. If an AI is saying this judgment is logical, 90% logical, the judge will apply his own mind and give a quicker judgment. Sorry? Tribunals. We can that is what I'm saying, right? Most of the things will be like this. For example, Vallabh is an IAS officer. He was transferred within 3 months, but the law says he should be in that post for 2 years. So then such judgments can be discussed, or they can be arranged in a sequence. Or easy thing is all petty cases, all cycle theft cases in India. 4 lakh cycle theft cases are there. 4 lakh cases. Let's imagine there are 4 lakh cases only about bicycle theft. Okay, does they need to block the judicial system? We don't know right now how many cases are related to what, right? So AI can shift through all this data and create a database. Trivial cases, hen cases, Yes, neighbor broke my window cases. People are bored, right? They go to case court for any kind of thing, any triviality. So all the trivial cases can be filtered from core cases. Then what happens? We need where to focus upon. What gets measured gets improved. So cycle cases can be listed out in a line and given ultimatum. Either you take back the cases or you solve them amicably. 20 years ago, someone stole a cycle. Why should it block the time of judiciary today? He should get justice, but it can be done amicably, right? You come to a conclusion. Yes. So lot of things are going to happen automatically, because once you throw AI at something, it only gets better and better with more and more data. And India is not having any lack of data, right? 3 lakh or 3 crore pending cases are there. It will become the best AI bot ever. Yeah, most racist ever. Okay. Now, a follow-up prelims question is e-courts project. So, e-courts project is a pan-India product by Department of Justice under Ministry of Law and Justice. Its aim is to provide efficient and time-bound citizen-centric service delivery. So, remember this particular line. This will also be helpful in your GS2 governance and ethics also. What is that? Time-bound citizen-centric service delivery systems. Yes? Anything wrong? To develop, install and implement decision support systems in the court. As I told you, right now it is a huge time consuming thing, right? For example, did you submit that affidavit? Let's say how it happens. I went to a court, I filed a case against someone. They will say we have a proof. Then the court will give you time to upload that data. Right? So all this data needs sometimes, but sometimes the data can be uploaded in real time without giving for a delay. If all you have to upload is send a document to the court, okay, why should I give you 4 extra days? You can send it in an instant email, right? It will save a huge amount of time for the courts. Yes. Right. So favorite question. CBI is a statutory body. It's a age-old question, right? Hen and chicken. Which is first? Hen or the egg? Chicken or the egg? CBI is a statutory body. Yes? How many of you think yes? CBI is a statutory body. Sure. Constitutional body? Should CBI be made into a constitutional body? It should be made into a constitutional body.
Autonomous should be.
It should be autonomous. CVC is a constitutional body. CVC is a statutory body. CBI is an autonomous body. Theoretically. Okay. CVC is an autonomous body. CVC applies to whom? Does it apply to IAS officers?
Yes.
CVC.
Yes.
Group A? B?
Yes. Only up to
Group B? Not D.
not.
Which group of officers are under CVC? I mean under the jurisdiction of CVC? All ABCD. Okay. IAS officers, All India Service Officers also. Politicians? Prime Minister?
Not under.
So,
CBC.
under CVC is one thing, under Lokpal is one thing, under CBI is a whole different thing, right? See, these three are different things. So, as all of you know, the CBI is not a statutory body, that is point number 1, but it derives its power from Delhi Special Police Establishment Act. So, which ministry? It was created under Home, but it is under administrative control of DOPT. Yes. The most important thing is CBI is needed for both CVC and Lokpal. That is one of the biggest criticisms of the anti-corruption mechanisms in India. So if you see ethics papers, time and again, there are many questions on corruption and corruption related institutions. So Central Vigilance Commission and Lokpal do not have a direct cadre of their own. So they are dependent on CBI. So it's technically they are autonomous bodies, but they are dependent on an executive body which is directly controlled by the government for prosecutions. House is yours, but dogs are mine. Then I can rob it as I want. Yes or no? There is no security mechanism. I mean, it's a general example, not comparing. Yes, and a statutory disclaimer. Okay, clear? So you understand, right? CBC, CVC, CA. So CVC is very, very important because recently it was in the news, right? CVC made a statement saying all the transfers have to be done within 3 years. So to reduce the corruption, that we will link to corruption in governance and also public service delivery in governance, plus the same things in ethics. There is a concept called as transparency. Yes, public service delivery. So public service delivery has to increase. And CBI is also a nodal agency for Interpol. Now, ordinance issuing powers of president. Srinidhi will tell us. What all do you know about ordinance issuing powers of president?
He can issue the ordinance when the emergency,
When there is emergency.
when
Hmm.
there is a issue of emergency.
Okay. We have to make Karnataka people proud today. Yes, Vallabha saying. What all do you know about ordinance issuing powers of president? Take your time, think, try to write down if you need to, if it helps your memory. I want those lines exactly. Next, Sushmita. Think and tell me. We have time, right? We have still 8 more minutes or 10 more minutes. Think, everybody, the rest of you also think. What all or everything that you know about ordinance issuing powers of President of Uganda. No? Okay. We don't know, right? Uganda. I have never been to Uganda. So, but I am a citizen of India. Read polity, right?
Yeah.
Lakshmikant. Dedicated to my Vidya. That I have read, sir. Okay. Dedicated by book to wife Vidya. Right? That first line of Lakshmikant. Then I saw the book, it's very bulky. Two daughters.
Yeah, that's right.
Wife and daughters, right?
Even to daughters.
Wife and daughters. Obviously, she will beat him. So wife and daughters. Okay. One of the nice dedications is Chetan Bhagat's dedications are good. Though his novels are subjective, but his dedications are good. The first one is to Microsoft, right? I think 5 point someone is dedicated to Microsoft for creating the word to write those. And 2 states is dedicated to his in-laws. Probably the only book ever dedicated to in-laws, right? Right? So, yeah. Chetan Bhagat is funny that way, but not the novels. Okay. I did not recommend it. Again, don't come and say, sir, you suggested, please read. Yes. What? Ordinance issuing powers. Yes, Ashwini? Writing? What dedication? You are writing your own party book. I started. No. Why? To Kalyan, evil personified. Thank you for everything and nothing. No? Please write what is there in ordinance power, not the dedications. Dedications can be written in the later date also. Santosh, what do you know about the presidential ordinance powers?
It is mentioned from Article 123 of Constitution.
Very good.
And it is ordinance making power is used only when the president feels a matter is of national importance.
Okay.
And after introduction of ordinance, it has to be passed within 6 weeks of the first session of the parliament.
Hmm.
And after 56 And so the maximum time limit of the ordinance, I mean, maximum lifetime of the ordinance is 6 months.
Okay. 6 months or 6 weeks?
6 months and
6 weeks.
yes,
6 months plus 6 weeks.
yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Is it his discretion?
No, it's a advice of Council of Ministers.
Advice on aid and advice of Council of Ministers. So I can issue ordinance when Lok Sabha is in session.
No, sir.
I can issue ordinance when Rajya Sabha is in session. Only Rajya Sabha is in session.
Yes. Yes.
Two things. Can I issue ordinance when only Lok Sabha is in session? Can it happen? Can I issue ordinance only when Rajya Sabha is in session?
Also, the other session is not.
Mm-hmm.
Or can be passed from either of the houses if it is possible. If not,
An ordinance can be issued when either of the houses is not in session, right? Either of the houses is not in session. So I can issue ordinance based on the discretion. Recently, I think government allowed one bill to lapse or one ordinance to lapse. Which one? Any idea? Sushmita and Srini, they are praying thankful God. Oh my God, we will break coconut today after the class. You prayed, right? I know. Sir forgot and move on. 10 rupees. I think it's 25 rupees now. The coconut. 40 rupees. No, not the Nariyal one. You don't break that green one, right? I would like to see you breaking that. But the brown ones are actually offered as sacrifice. Intelligent people. Swami, you don't drink anyhow, I will drink. 40 rupees save. Okay. Okay. Yes. So where was I? Ordinance issued, right? The ordinance which was, so the government issued a ordinance for environmental body, right? A new environmental body for for Delhi was created. Then it was allowed to lapse. So that entire discussion happened. And recently, yesterday or day before yesterday, they have issued an ordinance to create or amend 9 bills or 9 acts. All the 9 tribunals have been amended. One of them is about film certification. So film certification tribunal has been amended. Yesterday also there was a huge article in Hindu on the left hand side. So that the source is an ordinance. Okay. Yeah, so the president has promulgated a tribunal reforms ordinance. So how many of you know the constitution related articles for tribunals? Which articles govern the tribunals? Yes. 223. 323 or 223?
323 and B.
3 and 323B.
323A and B. Okay, they are introduced in which constitutional amendment? Is there a constitutional amendment for tribunals? Why? Of course. Why couldn't it have been created from day one? There were no tribunals from day one.
Constitutional amendment as well.
Like after Article 340, Parliament created body.
See, this particular ordinance removes the tribunal powers and give it to high courts. So tribunals are quasi-judicial bodies. Yes or no? Quasi-judicial bodies. So what is the relation between tribunals and 42nd Amendment? Tomorrow you will tell me. Or tomorrow all the coconuts in the world cannot save you because I will break it on your head. No? Yes? Sure. Allah, find out.
Which is like some specific areas related to some
Okay, anyone else? Yashashwini?
Sixth is about plants, fifth is about plants.
Fifth is vermin, sixth is plants. So, fifth is vermin. The term is vermin. Vermin. See, again, it has to be declared that a certain amount animal is vermin. That means they are excessive in population. They are least concerned. It doesn't make any difference to the ecosystem. Such kind of animals can be called as vermin. Again, it's subjective, right? The thing is, let's say monkeys, the rhesus monkey, not rhesus monkey, the typical monkeys we see in India. This, yeah. So like Nilgai in Madhya Pradesh area. So they are excessive in population, leading to destruction of crops and agriculture. So that can be called as vermin. So sometimes bats, crows are typically vermin, right? Sorry, pigeons can be declared as vermin. So again, it's a subjective term. So I mean, there was a discussion like whether we should allow animals to be vermin, because we don't know when to draw a line, because there is no population census. If we keep on killing them, again suddenly they become critically endangered, right? So whereas sixth schedule is about plants. So Wildlife Protection Act covers both flora and fauna. Yes, that is one important thing you have to remember. Please remember, when you see something in the news, UPSC is going a step beyond that. If you typically see, they stopped asking direct questions from Lakshmikant. They are asking the application based from NCERTs and the follow-up areas. For example, the other day we were seeing Lok Adalat, right, or CVC. So what is there in CVC in the news is fine, but beyond that, a step beyond, or interlinking of two topics. For example, CBI and CVC. A statement from CBI, a statement from CVC. Yes, or application in relation to polity. Yes, so be very careful and be very smart. What is in front of your eyes, you should perfectly know it. Wildlife Protection Act is something that you hear 10,000 times. Yes, and for example, the core zone, the buffer zone. Yes, declaring any zone as biologically protected area, what will happen? What activities are allowed in core zones? what activities are not allowed in core zones. So like this, if you can note down 10 topics and cover them, I think it will be very, very helpful. Okay, yes. And one more thing is the range or the endemicness of a particular animal. For yes, endemicness or range, like where they are available. 2017, 2019 or 20, there is a rhino question about rhinos, right? That year rhino range countries was in the news, but smartly what they did is they asked Asian rhino or Indian rhino, the one horn rhino is available where. Yes, so Indian rhino, what is the range of Indian rhino? Where all is Indian rhino available? Not Bangladesh. India, Nepal and Bangladesh.
Kaziranga National Park, mostly
In India, definitely one horn rhino is there.
near Bhutan,
Hmm.
Elias National Park and
So is it Bhutan or Bangladesh?
Bhutan.
So Indian rhino, according to you, is available in India, Nepal and Bhutan, not in Bangladesh. Paka. No Pakistan? No Pakistan, for sure. Okay, fine. What about Great Indian Bustard?
It's not in India.
India, endemic to India. Only Rajasthan? Karnataka?
Yes, Ballari.
Yes. Some parts of Andhra Pradesh also. Okay. See again, we think, you know, the moment I say Great Indian Bustard, we know it's a important topic. But within India, where is it available? Internationally, is it available in Pakistan? Is it Great Indian Bustard? The endemic range extends to Pakistan. Okay, recently there was a news article which says the Saudi kings or some royalty from some Middle Eastern country came to Pakistan, and Pakistan gave free access for the hunting of a certain bird. Which bird? Yes, you can. You are write it down. Okay. Yes. Which bird? You want to Google? Think, at least act like you're thinking. Okay, close your eyes, do something. At least that will give me satisfaction. They are trying. No?
Desert is extends to Pakistan.
So that doesn't mean the animal will cross or have that. They have that ecosystem. Which bird? Great Indian Bustard only. Never heard? Okay, don't worry. You get the idea, right? Like what I'm trying to tell you is there is a set theme in UPSC. Always follow the theme and it will lead you to the right directions. Okay. And Project Tiger, Project Elephant, Project Tiger, Elephant, and what other projects are there? Snow Leopard is there. Dolphin? Project Dolphin is also there. Okay, why dolphins are important?
They are at least Indus dolphins and
Yesterday it was in the newspaper, would suffice. Okay, so yes, yesterday it was in the newspaper. They have done some census, so they are happy that the population have increased. And what is the difference between Irrawaddy dolphin and Ganges dolphin? Yes, are both of them are same? Gangetic dolphin is near blind. Near blind. Okay, yes. And what is a what is IUCN status? Either of them is critically endangered? Both are endangered only, not critically endangered. Okay, fine. You get the idea, right? Irrawaddy is a river from which country? Myanmar? Bangladesh? Sure.
Myanmar.
That river flows through Myanmar. So Irrawaddy is a river in Myanmar. Pakka. Good. Again, in 2018, it was in the news. Like there is a census. Which state had the highest number of elephants? Yes. If you don't remember, remember Veerappan. Yes or no? Sorry? What? Karnataka people. You had any links with smuggling of ivory? No, right?
We are close.
Okay. I'm closer to money, Lakshmi Devi. Right? Okay. So jokes apart, sixth schedule states. Sixth schedule is very much in the news. Yes. Why is it in the news? Regarding NRC. Only NRC. Myanmar refugees. So does Assam come under sixth schedule?
Yes.
It comes under the section.
Autonomous district councils.
Does Assam come under sixth schedule? Fifth schedule. What are the states under sixth schedule?
4 states.
I'm going to throw bottle at someone today. What are the 4 states, Vallabh?
ATM. Assam,
Hmm. Hmm.
Meghalaya, Gujarat.
Good. Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura and Mizoram. There are 4 states, right? So this year there is an election in Assam. So automatically there is a lot of discussion about 5th schedule and 6th schedule states. So what is the importance of 6th schedule? That by default polity in polity automatically becomes a prospective question. Yes, so the questions can be like this. What is beyond Lakshmikant? Typically earlier there used to be a time where all you have to remember is what are the 4 states under 6th schedule. Yes, but now the questions can be in depth. Depth is increasing. They are not asking you new things, they are asking you things in depth. What are the things that are covered under 6th schedule? Yes, questions can be like this. The laws made by Parliament of India cannot be implemented or does not extend it to 5th and 6th schedule states.
The president
Yes, by default.
not by default, but the president.
But they can be
President or governor?
Governor in case of Assam,
interlocked
president.
Interlocutor.
in few states like when coming to zonal councils, it's regarding interlocks.
Again, before zonal councils, there is governor, right? So, the first priority is whether with the president or governor. So governor can decide whether this act should be implemented or not in that particular state. Yes. So such kind of questions become important. What are the things that they can take care of themselves? For example, education, law and order. So autonomous councils become important. So what are the things that are covered under autonomous councils? For example,
For this ADC, autonomous district councils, the money is charged on the Consolidated Fund of India or paid on the Consolidated Fund?
I think it is made, right, because charged means no discussion.
Yeah, no voting power.
No voting power. I don't think it is made charged. It should be made, right? And second thing, they have to raise their own revenue streams. They have to raise their own revenue streams, and they will be treated like any other unit in relation to money. Yes. See, autonomous council. That means you are a group of tribal people. You want to be governed by your own natural laws, like your own ancestral laws. I don't want to intervene. For example, in Nagaland, there are tribes where they don't want me to implement certain laws. So I am giving you the freedom to follow your own traditional laws, but at the same time, you have to maintain these things, because I cannot allow non-civilization to survive within the democracy, right? Yes, you may follow customary law, but if it is contravening with fundamental rights, there was headhunting types in Nagas. Head hunting was common practice. Head hunting. So I cannot allow that. Right? So even though I give you social customs and traditional laws as a freedom, that is violation of constitution. Yes, clear? So please remember, land management, forest management, agriculture, cultivation, all these things come under what? Autonomous councils.
They get state specific grants.
Autonomous councils.
Measure of God.
I think how it functions is, when it comes to monetary terms, I think they will be treated on par with anyone else, and then depending on the situation, states might have the discretions, right? Okay. They also have judicial powers. They also have judicial powers. So how can questions be framed on this particular topic? Autonomous councils don't have taxation powers. Autonomous councils have judicial powers. Autonomous councils don't have power over land management or forest management. Then what will happen? You have to pick up whether it's yes or no. Clear?
Regarding Assam Accord, sir, they want to extend some areas to the. For that, the constitutional amendment is required.
I don't think so. But the thing is, see, the problem with Assam Accord is a political pressure rather than anything. It's a political lobbying, right? It's a student group coming together, making an agreement with the government of India, which may or may not be upheld right now. Yes. So, if you go by proper Assam Accord right now, NRC has to be implemented in a whole different timeline. The one the present government is trying to implement is in a way violation of Assam Accord. So Assam Accord is a political agreement rather than a legal or a constitutional agreement, right? So, and we have to see how it can be implemented. Autonomous